Ms. Amrita Sarkar, as I already mentioned, has had 2 decades of activism under her belt, right? And is working as the advisor for transgender well-being and advocacy at Alliance India. And ma'am, from you specifically, I want to know two things. And I think these are very loaded questions, of course. But first, I want you to explain to sort of everybody here about a little bit about the Trans Act and about how these legislations have affected like the trans community. And in saying that, what has your experience been of working with community based organizations for all of these years? Where do you think, like as a representative of the community, can this conversation be taken forward?
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tia. And I would like to thank the organizers and all the doctors, the dignitaries here. Thank you so much for giving me the space to talk about. And I'm really very feeling very happy to see that kind of enthusiasm among all the students that they want to learn about it. So even before going to the question, it's there's an incident coming in my mind. I was taking a session 2 or 3 years back in Vilda Vidya Niketan. So the students, like almost there were like 300 and 400 students. They were telling me that, ma'am, we don't know people like you. And that is the problem. That since we don't know people like you, we are confused. And that's, bring the question whether I will address as a he, whether I will address as a she, or maybe they are just can be objectified to, make fun and all. So this is the gap. This is the gap. I think the main part is that yes, gender sexuality curriculum is very very much important, and that should be introduced at a primary level of education. And then coming to this field of medical practice, I think yes, the all the dignitaries here are well experienced. So I mean definitely, and also from as an outcome of this session, the students will be more interested to know, so like people that who are these transgender people actually. And the problem is actually the uh, how to say that, like adolescent part, when I'm actually moving from my childhood to my young age. Who am I? Whether I should behave like a girl, whether I should behave like a boy. And somebody is like from my family, or someone from my school, from my relatives, neighbor, everyone is not happy. So those experiences, I think most of the people, I mean including me, so that phase we have to face in our life. And it is very very much important to raise ourselves, like to why I am this, and yes, I am this. So that confidence we have to have. And I deal with some cases also. So uh, recently I was talking with a trans individual. She is very young and she wanted to change her
Ma'am,
gender.
I think there's an issue with your
So
audio. You're a little, there's a little.
uh, am I audible now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. Okay,
Sorry, I'm so
great.
sorry.
Thank you. Thank you. So, okay. So I'll not waste that time. So the just after this case actually, so she was very much confused. She was not very sure. She was asking me that should I change in my legal identity? Do I need to go for the gender affirmation surgery and all? I like a boy. I want to have like family with him. And this is the reality, that why why we feel that I have a woman inside, why we feel that I have a man inside. So that gender role is very very much important. This is I mean for all of us, not only for the transgender people but also for the cisgender people as well. And coming to that, so I think this is an area I took the opportunity to talk about, since there are so many students, so they will be able to like learn more, to take interest more, get yes how to deal with such cases actually. Yeah. So talking about the trans act, yes, I think Dr. Shobini is here. So we had like opportunity to work together, and I'm very very much lucky to work with Shobini ma'am. Since recently we organized country's first this national transgender summit, and the transgender act was one of the key component. So the part is that I would like to take you back little bit earlier when 2014 the NALSA judgment was passed, and that was a very like happiest moment for us because it was telling like that not only the transgender people will be given identity as a third gender, but they will be also given binary identity, and that was without medical intervention. That was very very much important and happening for us. But unfortunately, I mean, I don't know why that the it moved. I mean, it did not move on, and that this transgender bill got introduced, then this transgender act, now we have transgender rules. So yes, it is a better shape now. I mean, the definition part was not very clear. I mean, the transgender person was very similar to some like bisexual person, but now they have a very great uh, definition. There are areas to talk about like inclusive services, but still, I mean, if I talk about the act overall, I mean, still there are some problem. I mean, yes, I'm fortunate that before this act was in picture, I got my medical and legal transition done. But now, as a trans person, one has to go, as you know, to the district magistrate first to get the transgender certificate. And if I want to have a binary gender, then again I have to, give the all my medical documents and all. And the second part is that I am very, very, very much unhappy because of the legal part. Legal part means I think all of you know that if a transgender person getting abused, the perpetrator can get punishment in between 6 months and 2 years only. But for the cisgender woman, it is at least for 7 years. This is one part. It doesn't talk about our marriage act, our adoption law, rape law. So there are still certain areas. I mean, but yes, it is a good start, and I'm happy that uh, we are able to work with the National Transgender Council. We are able to work with NACO, most importantly, because all of you, most of you have said that the movement has started from the HIV/AIDS intervention program, and now I'm very very much happy that Dr. Shobini is very very much interested to take this effort forward, because she admitted, and along with all her colleagues, that gender affirmation care is very very much important. That should be integrated with HIV/AIDS services. Otherwise, it has got no use. So yes, Transgender Act. I'm hoping that maybe after some time we will have a greater picture when we can see that all services are integrated together. That is the problem. There are organizations, they are doing so many things, but we don't know. For example, in a rural area, how a transgender person is facing the trouble. And that can be done when the health system, education system, legal system, everybody will come together. So some kind of a mechanism we have to build. So that is my, long dream actually. And coming to your next question, you are talking about the experience. Yes, experience is so long. I mean, almost 20 years. But yes, at that point of time, we did not have much organizations working for the community. We did not have that much of legal options, and that point of time, like, we were very very much confused. I mean, for example, if one has to change her name, if one has to change the ge- gender and all, where I have to go. But these things are coming out now. This is a good part of it, that the health department, the trans act, the organization, the medical institution, so they are coming now together. So I think this is the best part. But yes, we also have to address our core needs. Education is the pillar of everything. So whenever I talk, any opportunity to speak, everywhere I talk about giving importance to the education system. It should be very 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 much inclusive. Still now you can see on your own, so many students are getting drop out. And if we are dropping out from the education, how we can contribute to our community, how we can contribute to the larger society. So that part, then uh, definitely the legal aspect of it. So the trans tax. So I think there should be more resources. That yes, HIV/AIDS is definitely an integral issue for us, but apart from that, there are other core areas also, in terms of education, in terms of livelihood. Those things also needs to be uh, think upon. And I think that's the way, if we can something integrate all these areas, if we can integrate all these ser- services with a community friendly approach, with an inclusive approach, definitely we can see a better tomorrow. Yeah. Thank you.